Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network, coming to you from our studios at the Capital Region International Airport. And staying in the Lansing vicinity here, we're going to spend a little time with Scott Piggott. He's the Chief Executive Officer of the Michigan Farm Bureau. And Scott, it was so good seeing you the other day, and the information was so pertinent. We'll talk about that in a minute. One of the things that struck me was how hot it was.
It was a warm day and sitting in front of a group, and I had gray slacks on, and I regretted that choice from the beginning of the day.
Well, fortunately, I was out of vision and earshot, and so I had shorts on. But believe me, it didn't make a heck of a lot of difference. We were at MSU, of course, that day, and we were talking about something that we'll get to. But in the meantime, for our business community out there, clue them as to Farm Bureau and what exactly you are and do.
Sure, Chris, and thank you so much for letting us visit with you. So I am blessed in the service of the farmer. The Michigan Farm Bureau was created 104 years ago by farmers for farmers. We represent agriculture in the state, 40,000 plus farming members across the state. We're the state's largest general farm organization. And in 1949, farmers stormed the boardroom and said, we need an insurance company. And we've been blessed to have the growth of a wonderful insurance company, protecting folks across the state from the risks of everyday life for all those years, and really helped to grow our impact in communities. So the farm organization is very focused on helping our farmers find good markets for their products, get them good information that helps them to be better business people, helping them to be represented in the legislature, and they do a wonderful job of that themselves. And our insurance affiliates are blessed to have 400 agents across the state who are the voices in the communities that do a great job of, when you have horrible weather like we just did. I had a maple tree fall on my own garage, and it's wonderful to have agents help you. And we're grateful for all those folks that work in the communities and further advance our brand. So Farm Bureau is more than just an insurance company, but we're blessed to have one. And the farm organization is very strong after 104 years.
Two tremendous organizations, and every day has not been smooth for Farm Bureau, but you guys have come through everything in great repair. Let's talk a little bit about that meeting that was held at MSU, and who was in the audience, and what was the major message?
Sure. So the Food Bank Council of Michigan represents the different food banks of the state, and there are 7 of them. I've been blessed to serve on the Food Bank Council board now for a couple of years, representing the food side of things. And how do we connect food, the food that our farmers make every day across the state? We make 350 different commodities. We have a lot of very successful farms that make a lot of milk, meat, cheese, vegetables, anything you can name that we're seeking. How do we find a better way to connect that with people in need? And the food banks pulled together that meeting the other day. Senator Stabenow was the keynote of that time. And how do we stay connected and help people connect the food from the farm with the food that people need on their farm, at their homes? How do you do that through the Farm Bill? People think about a national piece of legislation that is called the Farm Bill, and they think, well, that's just doing things for farmers. Well, the majority of the Farm Bill focuses on programs to help people get food that need food, our most food insecure people in the state. And it breaks your heart to know that right now, according to with what I've learned as being part of the Food Bank Council, 1 in 7 kids in our state is food insecure. 1 in 7. And it breaks your heart. And how can a kid study if they're hungry? How do they be the best person they are if their primary thought is, where's my next meal coming from? So how can we stay aligned, work with our congressional folks to get a farm bill passed? The current farm bill is expiring September 30th. It does great things for providing a safety net for our farmers. When we get bad weather like we've had recently, it helps some of our younger farmers get credit, helps us to put conservation on the ground to protect the environment. That was the purpose of that day, can we stand together for a unified farm bill and work with Senator Stabenow as the chair of the Senate Ag Committee to get that done?
Well, we had Dr. Phil there from the basically the Food Bank Association, and he talked about that distribution as well. And you're absolutely right. And I think more of us than we're aware of don't know that person in need of food may be a block away.
Yeah.
I
Getting
mean, they
that
are
last
everywhere in
mile.
yeah, they
Well,
are
in
everywhere
rural
in our-
communities. Yeah, rural communities, I didn't understand until working with this group that some rural areas, it's not just your large municipalities.
Yeah.
There are some rural counties in the state where it's 1 in 4 kids or 1 in 5 kids that don't have access, they're food insecure.
Yeah.
So that's something that we're better as a society, and and our folks deserve better.
Well, and you guys are doing everything you possibly can to help, and we appreciate that. So ribbon cutting recently, we got about 45 seconds to talk about that. Congratulations on a total rehab.
Yeah, we have been blessed being on West Saginaw for 50 years and in Lansing, and we did a remodel of the building to accommodate our wonderful staff. It's a competitive climate in Lansing for insurance, and we like competition. It makes us better. And having great facilities for our members to meet as well as our folks to work, it was needed, and we're very proud of it, Chris. So thank you.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was beautiful. I was out there for the ribbon cutting, and I'm going to be out there again. As a guest of DBI, who did the furniture and helped with the design. And it's a wonderful facility. Scott, thanks so much for what you do, but thanks for joining us today in particular. Scott Piggott, Chief Executive Officer of the Michigan Farm Bureau. I'm Chris Holman. You've been watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network.